NOLCOM is our frontliner here in the Northern Hemisphere. And as we saw a while ago, in their shift to territorial defense, they have gone a long way already. But let me give you this challenge, this further challenge. Do not be content with securing just the Northern Hemisphere up to Mabulis Island. Start planning for actions in case there is an invasion of Taiwan. Okay? So extend na natin yung sphere of operations natin. Because if something happens to Taiwan, inevitably we will be involved. There are 250,000 OFWs working in Taiwan, and we will have to rescue them. And it will be the task of Northern Luzon Command to be at the front line of that operation.
Good evening. I'm Janet MacArthur, and tonight we delve into a geopolitical storm brewing in the South China Sea. The Philippines, once caught between two powerful forces, is now facing a daunting reality. As China intensifies its military presence near Taiwan, the Philippines has just made a shocking declaration. If China invades Taiwan, the Philippines could be at war. But how serious is this threat? And what does it mean for the future of Southeast Asia? Stay tuned as we unpack the complexities of this escalating crisis. But first, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to stay updated with the best political analysis from Live News 16. China's military maneuvers near Taiwan have intensified. Beijing regularly sends its warplanes and Navy ships into the Taiwan Strait, flexing its muscle as Taiwan's sovereignty faces increasing pressure. But lately, these exercises have become more menacing. Just last December, China held drills after a Taiwanese presidential visit to Pacific Island nations, further asserting that Taiwan must eventually fall under Chinese control. The Philippines is geographically situated just 100 kilometers from Taiwan, and that proximity has sparked serious concerns. The Philippines has long considered the Bashi Channel, between its northernmost tip and Taiwan, part of its territorial waters. But with China's growing aggression, the Philippines faces the prospect of being drawn into the conflict. The military chief recently declared that in the event of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan, the Philippines could find itself at war. Why? A key reason is the estimated 250,000 Filipino workers in Taiwan who would be in the crossfire if China launches a full-scale attack. The Philippines has had a turbulent relationship with China, marked by dramatic shifts depending on who's in power. Under former President Rodrigo Duterte, Manila cozied up to Beijing, declaring a separation from the U.S.
China is good. It has not invaded a piece of my country all this generation. All the areas to wander and do business, barter trade, even for the arrival of the...
This friendly approach led to Chinese investments flooding the Philippines, while tensions over the South China Sea remain largely under the radar. But now under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the country has pivoted, reaffirming its long-standing alliance with the U.S., granting the U.S. access to additional military bases in the Philippines, and reviewing Chinese loan agreements. This about-face signals a new chapter in the region's delicate balance of power. As tensions rise, alarming reports have emerged. The Philippines military chief claims that China has infiltrated the country's institutions, businesses, schools, churches, and even military ranks. There are concerns that this growing Chinese influence could undermine Philippine sovereignty. But how far does this infiltration go? Is it a well-calculated strategy by Beijing, or are local political factions allowing China to gain a foothold for their own reasons? Manila's recent moves suggest a clear shift in direction. As the Philippines prepares for joint naval exercises with the U.S. later this year, China's reaction is one of discontent. This is the first time the U.S. will deploy its advanced anti-ship missile system, Nemesis, to the Philippines, alongside unmanned surface vehicles. These weapons are capable of targeting parts of China's coastline and the Taiwan Strait, directly challenging Beijing's dominance. Manila's strategic military posture is now unmistakably leaning toward Washington, but is this wise? The Philippines finds itself in a political tug-of-war between the world's two superpowers. The Philippines is at a crossroads. With tensions rising, the question remains, is Manila being forced into a conflict, or is it proactively shaping its role on the global stage? As China's war games continue, the Philippines faces domestic challenges with protests and growing political instability under Marcos Jr. Yet, the bigger question looms, will the Philippines remain a strategic partner of the U.S. and stand firm against China, or will it cave under economic pressure and geopolitical pressure from Beijing? The stakes have never been higher. As the Philippines braces for a potential geopolitical showdown, the world watches closely. Can Manila navigate these perilous waters, or will it be dragged into a war it never asked for? Time will tell. This is Janet MacArthur, and you've been watching Live News 16. Stay informed, stay connected, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more exclusive insights on global politics.